Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to meet you all today, albeit virtually. What our conference has set out to discover is whether 21st century leadership can deliver sustainable development based on peace and social solidarity. If we look at history, we would do well to remember the two British prime ministers, Benjamin Disraeli in 1878 and Neville Chamberlain in 1939, returned from Berlin, each claiming to have secured peace in our time. The reality soon contradicted both, when multiplying colonial clashes and regional struggles culminated into world wars that saw the loss of tens of millions of lives. We live through decades of Cold War, which were followed by 30 years of hot global peace, based by civil strife, hybrid wars, and the globalization of terrorism. There is scant remaining hope that either the current political leadership, primarily invested in power games, or the current financial leadership, primarily interested in maximizing profit, can adequately tackle the challenges of globalization. I have tentatively sought an answer to the question whether war is an inherent outcome of human nature in the work of two German laureates of Nobel Prize for Literature, Thomas Mann in 1929 and Hermann Hesse in 1946. In the Magic Mountain, the protagonist from the solace of the Swiss sanatorium believed that death was something that happened to others, up until he reached the front lines of war, causing Thomas Mann to wonder whether this festival of death would one day give rise to love. In 1943, during the Second World War, Hermann Hesse proposed in the Glass Bead Game a model of society predicated upon culture instead of violence, and praised the benefits of cultural dialogue. We might rightly ask ourselves, given the spectacular development of intercultural dialogue occurring over the past decades, why is mankind currently facing so much paralyzing adversity and has to tackle spiraling violence? The culture of peace is much more than anti-cultural dialogue and cannot be disenfranchised from a new culture of democracy and a new culture of market economy. Is a generous and exciting proposition of a truly shared society a challenge, a hope, or a dream? During the panel of the Global Baku Forum, my good friend Federico Maio asked me about my vision of a society of shared values. My reply was that it was somewhat akin to an orchestra in which various different instruments simultaneously sounding various different chords can yet achieve overarching harmony. When the European Union chose the Beethoven Ninth Symphony Fourth Movement as their anthem, that might have had in mind the title Ode to Joy. Yet, I believe the symbol here is more profound. As in the fourth movement, when the orchestra is joined by chorus and solo performance, or the grand finale, governments, social growth, and individual personalities can work in harmony, preserving their identity. In the end, it is up to all of us and each of us individually to take part in the chorus of peace and sustainable development. Thank you.